What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be previewing round 11 Port Adelaide versus Richmond this Saturday afternoon at 4:05 p.m. at the Adelaide Oval. It's going to be a big game with these two teams, probably the most informed clubs in the comp at the moment, and it's it's going to be a very interesting game. 10,000 people allowed at the ground this time due to the current ever-changing situation of COVID, so still a bit of atmosphere I know the Port fans will be giving. But nonetheless, let's get into this preview and see exactly who is going to come out on top. This week we are celebrating the milestones of Tom Jonas and Ollie Wines playing games 150, which seems to me so far-fetched because it still feels like they're still brand new at the club. Tom Jonas is approaching 30. And Ollie Wines is in his prime and 25, 26 years old. So to me, they still feel new to the club. Tom Jonas debuting against that Hawthorn loss in 2011. Ollie Wines round one against the D's in 2013. So not too far different between the two, and they've been great servants of this club and stuck through thick and thin, and obviously both being captains of the club, vice and captain at the moment. So a great achievement for both of those, and hopefully Port do get the job done because we seem to do all right in milestones. But we do have a big assignment this week. Richmond, who are coming off a big 41-point win against the Lions at Metricon, absolutely dominated them from all aspects of the ground. And Brisbane obviously kicked 4 goals, 17. But besides the point, Rewalt was firing, Lynch was firing, Dustin Martin has had a great last month, and they're starting to find that form of the Richmond way, that pressure, that attacking footy, and Damien Hardwick has always got a couple of tactics up his sleeve that seems to be working at the moment. So coming to Adelaide against Port, who are an outfit that, watching every single week, you just look at them and think, how is this team top? But also at the same time, you know why they're top. They're persistent, they keep attacking, and they don't give up. And it's the resilience of this club at the moment is why we're top of the ladder, and 8-2 is a great start to the season. To be home at the moment against Richmond, our form against Richmond at the Adelaide Oval is always up and down. 1 week we're winning, 1 week we're losing. And every year it seems to chop and change. Last year we lost to the Tigers by only a couple of points. And the year before that we bet them. So how you figure that out, I don't know, but Richmond are certainly going to be a big task, and it's all about stopping Dustin Martin this week. I think he is the key to see exactly how Richmond are tracking. The last month he's averaged 22 disposals, he's kicking goals, which is always when you know Dusty's on. If he's hitting the scoreboard, you're in trouble. It's their defensive unit as well, and they're doing it without the likes of Hooley, and I think they're going to rest Cochin this week. Not 100% sure. I should say that this is being recorded before selection, so Port Adelaide, even Scott Lysette, will most likely come back in and might even go to ruckman, with Laddams also being in good form, and that poses an even more interesting dynamic for Port and how we play. So it's all up to play for at the moment, and it's going to be one of those games where who can match each other's pressure. And as I mentioned, you got the likes of Dusty. With the Tigers as well, they do have that. They've got that tier. Those tiers of players that, as you go down their list, there's no weaknesses. Like when they do play a pretty poor game of football, they all won't perform. But there's always someone stepping up in each tier, and they've got their star players, they've got their mid-tier table players, they've got their key pillars, and they've got Grimes down back, who's one of the better defenders in the league at the moment. Bolter has even stood up and is playing really good football down there, and they have different avenues which a lot of teams seem to struggle to adapt to when playing the Tigers, and we saw that against the Lions, and they did it to the Bulldogs only a week before. So with Port Adelaide's perspective, I think Richmond obviously coming off a 4-day break, Port with a 5-day break, it'll be all about management coming into this week's game, because with the current form that Port Adelaide are in, I do feel like we're not quite hitting peak. Like Monday night, we only played one good quarter of football. The rest was it was pretty average. It wasn't the greatest spectacle, and obviously, coming off a 4-day break, it's going to affect your performance one way or another. And then against the D's, it was a good, solid 4-quarter performance. The Demons didn't punish us at all with their momentum swings that they had during the game, and we were just able to capitalise on their mistakes. And good teams do that, obviously. But we haven't had a performance where we've stood out since, I reckon, GWS. That's where we were so dominant with the game for 4 quarters, just couldn't put the Giants away, and finally we were able to pepper the goals and get a good, decent lead in the end. And then you look at Carlton, we were probably the better side on the day, but didn't really dominate them, and we were very fortunate enough with Robbie Gray kicking a winning goal. And then you move into, we played St Kilda, just were poor against St Kilda, and then D's and Dogs. So we're looking for that performance that will stand up against a better side. This is a real test for Port Adelaide this week. If we can get the job done against the Tigers at home, beat them at their own game, and then the people outside of Port Adelaide and outside of South Australia will start talking. And people look at Port Adelaide top of the ladder at the moment, they're thinking, they're just picking off the teams that they're playing nicely, and the Dogs aren't that great in form, and the D's are shit. St Kilda, they're up and coming. We've got to get that scalp, and this is the one, Richmond, because there's nothing better than beating Richmond. Now, I know a lot of Richmond supporters out there are thinking the same. I know a few Richmond fans that are obviously going to be looking forward to beating Port. They probably believe they'll beat Port. They probably know they're going to beat Port. And then even us as Port fans, we're like, even every week, we're like, I don't know. It's Port Adelaide. We don't know. We keep winning, but I'm not sure. I do know one fan who's at Richmond headquarters that does believe Richmond will win.
Hey Power fans, it's Jordan here. Obviously Tigers are going up against Port this weekend. I reckon it'll be a good game. You guys are coming off a good win. Really good stuff you're looking like, so I reckon, obviously, if you can't tell, I reckon we're going to win. I think it'll be a lot closer than what people think. I reckon we're growing in the year. I reckon I'm going to tip Tigers by 21 points. And if you want a quick tip of how we're going to go for the rest of the year, I'll show you. I call it the Flag Tigers. See you later, have a good one.
Yeah, that's the summary of that one, that's for sure. It gets me nervous. And I know Richmond should be full of confidence at the moment. They're top notch, they're a top 4 side. I've always believed that. They have their patches, they have their moments. And it will be all about the contest once again. We're going to be missing Sam Mays this week, which I think Lena will probably come back in, but Garner should be given an opportunity. It'll be very nice to see him, and this will be another stage where you can put in a couple of players, and he's up to the standard, and see how he goes. Lyset's going to come back in, so who comes out for Lyset? Ebert's going to be probably physically and mentally fit, ready to go after concussion. There's possibly 3 changes. There's possibly 1. Lyset most likely to come back in, so 2 changes. I don't know how this game's going to go. I just hope that we're on. I just want to see a performance where, alright, maybe the result might not go our way, but we can stand up to the Tigers and really put it at them. So who am I tipping? I'm tipping Port Adelaide. I think we'll get the job done by 13 points in a tight tussle. Who's going to stand up? The man himself, Charlie Dixon. He's looking fit and firing. He doesn't want to rest. He wants to keep playing through this shortened period of time where games are closer together and there's not many big breaks. That's the type of play you need to keep in your side, keep him consistent, and I think he'll dominate this week. So Port fans, let me know in the comments below you're thinking this week, and any Tigers fans out there as well, what you're thinking about this week's game and who is your tip. It's going to be a big game, but I thank you so much for watching this preview. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to it. I won't be able to watch it because I'm playing footy myself, so I'll be keeping an eye on the scoreboard after the game, so I'm nervous, if you can't tell. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content coming your way. My name is Anthony. And as always, come on, ThePear.